Okay. Let's be serious, guys. Come on. Yeah.
All right, welcome to Unfiltered Reflections podcast, where there are no filters, no scripts, just real talk and good vibes.
Period.
So I want to start off with reminding every single one of you that I have 3 ground rules, and those 3 ground rules are: 1, we listen and we don't judge; 2, we take what applies and we leave what don't; and 3, and most importantly, always be kind to yourself. Right?
Clack it.
All right, so let's get started. So today's topic is going to be about STDs. I feel like it's a very important topic. It's uncomfortable for a lot of people to talk about, young, old, whatever the case is. So let's start off with saying, do you know what kind of STDs are there in the world?
I mean, yeah.
What kind of STDs?
Gonorrhea, herpes, ¿qué más?
You got chlamydia, gonorrhea, syphilis, herpes, hepatitis, A, B, C, D, A, B, C, whatever the case is. I'm exaggerating. But they are like 3 hepatitis.
Yo.
You have HPV. You have HIV. Anyways, we're not gynecologists. let's make that clear right now, because I feel like we're gonna get a lot of judgments. We're not gynecologists.
Yeah,
we're not doctors.
We're just putting awareness to this topic. That's it.
Very much awareness.
Yes.
I think that is very important to get checked.
Definitely.
I'm one that the doctors know me at this point. I be in the clinics. How fucking often? Often. You hear me? Often. I feel like if that condom rips, I'm in the clinic.
Mm-hmm.
If I just so happen to just, F raw, then it happened, I'm getting checked. If I have a new partner, I now want to make sure that I'm good, so my partner is good, I'm going to get checked.
No.
I don't like any surprises. I like to also be sure if I do get something that I know who it's coming from.
Yeah.
So I think that it all depends also if you have a partner, right? If you have a partner or you're meeting a guy or you just met a guy, it's important to get checked. So that way the conversation's there. Yo, you clean? Like, let me see your mind chart. And nobody can say that I've got my chart.
Let me see your mind chart is a little crazy. When you first be, let me see your mind chart.
That's how you said it sounds crazy?
A little.
How is that crazy?
Let me see your mind chart, Carlo.
I would. I've done it. Let me see that mind chart. Let me see that mind chart.
But not a lot of people are as up front.
Yeah, that, and I forget that because I am very straight to the point person.
I think we all are. Like me, you, like, you get what I mean?
No, we definitely are.
There's just a lot of people. Many women are like timid about those situations. You get what I mean? Especially
and men too. Honestly,
nowadays, it's just like I feel like men aren't as. I feel like this is no sexual no stigmatism with gender, but I feel like men are less thing about STDs.
But I also feel like it has to do with your maturity level, right?
Yeah. Also,
and how open you are to that. Because I was talking to one of my guy friends, and I gave him a scenario, and he said, grown adults, and if I'm dealing with a person and I contracted something, I'm gonna tell that person I contracted it, because it's a given. If we're having sex, that's a possibility it can happen. If we're not just us two and there's other people, then what's wrong with that?
Yeah.
But then also I understand some women may think like, oh, if I tell him something, or the men thinks that too, then they're gonna think that I'm
nasty,
right, or nasty, and then all of a sudden it's like, I don't want to deal with that person again.
Yeah.
But I feel like that shouldn't be the case. You should be open and be able to express that. Especially if you had someone or you worked with someone prior to, and you meet somebody new, get checked before you deal with that person.
No, yeah. And I feel like just educating yourself on certain STDs, because some people, like, once they hear herpes, automatically, like, it's a turn off.
But then most people don't know that cold sores is a type of herpes.
Yeah. I've had a bunch of like friends of mine like, oh, I have a cold sore. It's nothing. I'm not sure I don't drink with you,
I'm not sharing no drink with you. I'm good.
It's nothing. Whole time you go onto Google and it says what it says.
It's herpes. It's herpes.
So yeah,
because there are 2 types of herpes.
I did take that into account. Not a lot of women know that.
Or men.
I mean, yeah, but men.
Or how about y'all just don't share no drinks with each other? We too grown to be sharing drinks with people. The same steak, hookah, like you don't know what that person was doing the night prior to, and then you just.
I know, but it's just you don't really think. Sometimes it goes past, like past your head about it, and you just share it.
You're nasty.
You share it.
You're nasty.
Coming from my experience, I've shared, and then it completely goes over my head.
What
and I'm
you shared before?
Let's say friends wise, I've shared like what lip gloss, chapstick,
okay,
stuff like that.
My mind was in the gutter.
I never a drink. I don't really like sharing drinks.
It's nasty.
Yeah, I don't like sharing drinks. But with my recent friends, I've been sharing chapsticks and stuff. Like, oh, let me get some chapstick type of thing. I try to stop.
Type of thing.
I try to not to, because I'd be like, yo, I don't know what she got, and I know that something. I know what she be doing. So it's like, I don't take it into account sometimes because they're my friends, but I sure do.
Nasty. So,
oh my
God. I don't have a personal experience to this, but I would definitely say that I like to get checked. I get checked very often. If I'm not having sex with anyone, I get checked at least once a month. If I'm not having sex with anyone.
So you told me you've never shared anything with anybody?
Shared, like
whether that's, I know you don't do drinks, but like I'm saying, like lipstick, something like that. Or
no, I have
like with the guy
that. Well, that's the thing. If I'm dating a guy, then yeah, like I'm gonna take some of your food, feed me some food, Sure.
Might as well.
But like with friends, when it comes to friends, nah.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
These people's nasty. You're nasty.
Understandable.
But still.
Okay.
So, anyways, but yeah, like if I'm not having sex, I like to get checked at least once a month. If I am having sex, and it's a steady partner, I won't probably get checked. Unless I feel something weird. But that's if I have a steady partner, and we're in a relationship, right?
No, yeah.
If I'm having sex with someone that, to me, he's my steady partner, but I know that he's dealing with other people, one, I'm gonna want to use protection because you're doing that with other people, and I'm aware, and I'm okay with that. But it just so happens that we do, raw sometimes, then I can get in checked very frequently, every 2 weeks, every week.
Have you ever asked someone to get checked? Like,
yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And I've had people where it's just like, oh, I don't need to get checked because nah, sir.
Has that ever like turned you off or like stopped you? Like, okay,
it has.
Need to stop.
It has.
Okay.
It has, because why is it a problem?
Yeah, I've seen that. A lot of people, especially men, they be like, oh, like kind of offended that you asked that. That's another thing, how like people react. That's why many people don't go and be like, oh, can I see your my chart? What do you mean?
I pulled out my mind chart.
But some people that kind of interferes with their ego, and it's just like, oh, what are you insinuating?
And that's true too. And I feel like people need to get over it, because it's not about ego. It's about my health.
Yeah, and your health as well. Because what if I have something?
Right. Absolutely. I feel like everything is curable except for like herpes and HIV, and I feel like HIV is the main one. I'm not here to bash anyone that has HIV. Things happen, but I do feel like we need to be honest with everyone, because if you're honest with me and you tell me that you have something like that, then it's my choice whether I want to continue in that relationship, get to know you, and develop something. But don't take that away from me. Don't take the opportunity for me to make that decision whether or not I want to, that choice, basically.
Yeah.
Like don't deceive me just because you like me a lot and you're scared. Don't let your thoughts get in the way of giving me that choice, if that makes sense.
Yeah. No.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, this makes sense.
Estaba loca por sacarme esa gata.
Tanta habladera.
So, with that being said, I want to talk about condoms. Why are condoms are very important? I know a lot of us have a love and hate relationship with condoms. I'm one of them.
I feel like a lot of people though.
A lot.
They have like a not even a love. They hate condoms because they can't feel or they.
But it's a mental thing, right?
Yeah.
That's definitely a mental thing.
No. Yeah.
You could definitely feel that it feels better without it. Yes, absolutely. That we the people that choose and like to F raw don't like condoms. Yes, absolutely.
I mean, as I say, YOLO. But we don't know what he got.
What she got.
Yeah, we gotta, do what we gotta do.
And again, we're not trying to sound here like, oh, ew, you got the cootie. We're not saying that. But what I'm saying is,
it's just
don't take away that choice from a person. Don't keep that away from someone. Look at this one.
My guy, come on. Yeah.
No. And what about condoms? What about condoms? Other than being mental.
Like the size. How do you know a certain size? How do you know as a guy? Because I don't know. But how do you know if a guy fits that certain size or if that's a guy's size? Like if they don't know.
So I'm not an expert. Again, I'm not a gynecologist. I'm not a sex.
We're not certified. We don't got a degree, but talking from experience.
Not that we have that many.
Oh, not that we
have disclosure. Yeah, because you say that, and then people will automatically assume, oh, she's had.
No.
So, story time. I was in a club one time, right? Mm-hmm. And like a good Dominican saying, un clavo saca otro clavo. So I'm here looking for my clavo, and just so happened that the clavo book's in the club. And I'm like, all right, bet. This guy I've seen a couple times before. He sent me a picture of his dick too. And let me tell you something. I don't like that shit. I don't like dick. Especially when they're unsolicited. Please don't. I'm the type of woman that I don't feel aroused by seeing a dick pic. I don't find anything amusing with it.
Yeah.
And most of the time, let's be honest, they lie about the angle. They choose the angle they want to choose. And that dick is bigger than what it needs to be. Okay? So please, no false expectations. Don't be deceitful. Just don't send no unsolicited pictures.
Right.
Back to the mother topic. So he sends me a picture of his dick. And let's just say that, I'm looking at it because I like to analyze. So I analyzed it. So I'm like, I bet nothing ever happened. That night, again, that I'm there looking for that clavo and the clavo walks in. Mm-hmm. I said, all right, I guess this is the night. Let's give it a chance. So when I'm there, we go, we about to do what we about to do. I asked him, what are you, a Magnum or are you a Trojan? He looked at me like, why you got condoms in your bag? And I looked at that nigga right back and I said, why the fuck do you not? Because...
Yo, that is a crazy question in itself. That is a crazy question in itself.
What? The
Magnum? Why you got condoms? Oh.
So he said he was a Magnum. So I bet I gave him the Magnum. That nigga was not a Magnum, in fact. And how do I know he was not a Magnum? I'm gonna tell you guys how I know a guy is not a Magnum. If that condom does not stay on your penis, if the condom slides out, if there's plenty of room in that condom, that is not your size.
Oh my God.
Okay. So with that being said, he was not a mother. Okay. Now he wasn't 3 fingers. He was not 3 fingers. He was probably a Trojan. Okay. But my thing is, why lie? There's a condom for every dick size.
I mean, let's be honest. Maybe he didn't. Let's make a couple excuses for him. He might have not known what he was.
Oh yeah.
or let's say maybe, I don't know. I'm guessing maybe he didn't know what he was. Maybe. Or maybe what you said. Maybe he was trying to front. He's like, let me let me do my 1-2. Let me do my 1-2.
And he wanted to look good.
Yeah. I mean, it didn't work in his favor.
And how did that work out? How did that turn out?
Yo,
because I ain't never called him back.
My question is,
I ain't never called him back. I never called him back. I ain't never texted him back again.
Oh,
He's still there. He's still there. And he sees my stories, and I know he sees my stories. But I'll never call him back.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
I feel like once you give me, you don't. It's like, how can I say this? You put out a product.
Mm-hmm.
You were selling out a product
mm-hmm.
that you was just
like
it was
false advertisement. False advertisement. No, literally.
You deceit. You a liar.
Yo, what if he edited the picture?
I don't think it was edited, but it was definitely from an angle. It was definitely from an angle because that I'm telling you, it looked a little bit bigger than what it needed to look like.
Yo, oh my god, that's crazy.
And I'm not saying I like it big, right? Because I feel like it doesn't matter the size.
Yeah,
it does not matter what to me. Yes and no. Because hold on, wait a minute. Because if you 3 fingers, and I'm talking about this right here, it's 3 fingers. Okay, I want to give you guys an idea.
Oh my god,
this is a perfect example of what 3 fingers is. If I have to jerk you off like this with 3 fingers, you are not the guy for me.
That's embarrassing. Oh my god.
I don't care how good you I don't care about none of that.
You gotta be you can't even be a munch?
No. I could do an average.
Okay. I was gonna ask you, what's your
because we all know average is like what, 5 inches?
Yeah.
5-6 inches?
Something like that.
Average I can deal with.
Okay.
Now don't be a horse either. Cause you're not breaking my insides. Yeah, you nah. I see that. I'm putting my back when I'm leaving. I'm good because what you thought this was?
What you thought anaconda.
NASA. NASA.
Oh my god.
And so my thing is, please learn a woman's body.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's very important.
Yeah.
I feel like as a man you can come.
Mm-hmm.
You can come and you will come.
But as a woman, it's like it's kind of hard. Not hard, but it's like more difficult to please. Like as a man perspective, I feel like it's more difficult to please a woman. Actually, do you know? No.
Well,
like if you don't know the
if
woman,
you don't know, right?
That's
because my thing is the first encounter is going to be awkward. We all know that.
Yeah.
But the second one, based on the first one, you should know how to move. You should know how to move.
Or you guys should communicate. Like,
that too.
Oh, I didn't like this from the first time. Da-da-da. You get what I mean?
I mean, I'm not a kind of, let's talk about sex, but I don't mind talking about it either. Don't get me wrong. But my thing is, I'm the kind of person that if we're intimate with each other,
mm-hmm.
we have that chemistry. Because in order for me to go into bed with you, I have to find you somewhat physically attractive.
Mm-hmm.
That's one. Something about you I liked.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it was that you look good, you smell good, your thought processes were there. Like it's something about you I like
mm-hmm.
that it turned me on.
Yeah.
Right? That's the first step.
Mm-hmm.
So once we're there in the act, it's either you gonna leave or I'm going to show you what I like.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I remember there was one time, story time, and it's gonna be a little freaky too. I was having sex with this guy, and I like the way that I have sex with this guy. Now, you know, it was good. It was intense. Everything was there. The chemistry was there. You know, when the body's feeling like
mm-hmm.
you're on the same page, the same note. That's how it was. It was intense. So we've never spit on each other, right? And I remember I was like, I did something, and then I asked him, like in a very sensual way, because it's also about how you ask, right? And I asked him, I was like, can I spit on you? And it just so happened that he was so much in the moment as much as me that he was like, yeah. So I say less. And I'm not saying it was like it was not. Because you also need to know how to do certain things. It's not like I'm going to shower you and spit, bro. My God. That's not happening. But it's a playful spit, right? And I guess he liked it so much, he did it back. And also confidence. Confidence is key. Yeah. Confident in what you're doing, confident in yourself. he's gonna enjoy that as well, you know?
Yep.
So again, please, there's a condom size for every dick. There is.
Coming into that, I don't know if this is switching topics, but kinks. We should talk about that.
Kinks?
Yeah, you don't know what that is?
No, but what do you mean? What do you want to talk about kinks? What about kinks?
Like what type of kinks? I don't know. What type of kinks people like? What type of kinks do we agree with? What type of kinks do we feel like? There's pissing kinks. There's BDSM.
But then you see, when we talk about kinks, that's a tricky conversation because I feel like it all depends on the person and your partner. So I feel like that's a conversation. So if you're into kinks, let's say this. If you're into certain kinks, I feel like then you should have that conversation with your partner. And if you don't know how to have that conversation with your partner, there are a lot of games, like card games. I have card games that is like a starter of conversations.
Okay.
Like, what do you like? What do you don't like? What do you do in bed? What you wouldn't do in bed? Stuff like that. And that will start a conversation, right? Right. Because if a card asks, ask your partner what they like in bed or what extent will they take it, then that'll get you started right away. And then it's like, oh, you like that? I think I could do that. Or how would you like that exactly? So I feel like that's a conversation between you and your partner. I feel like us sitting here and saying our kinks is just...
I didn't say all that saying
just like we just mentioned condoms, there's also another thing we want to talk about today, which is birth control. And now a lot of women
nowadays are just getting pregnant.
They don't like birth control. And I get it. Because I'm one of those women.
I mean, there's a lot of effects coming with birth control.
That's what I'm saying.
The gaining weight.
Now you got me fucking up the English.
Yeah,
too.
Me too.
The gaining weight. There's the hormones.
Yeah.
The changes in the body with like the skin, the pimples.
And sometimes your period gets worse.
Yes, heavier. Or if you have like PCOS, I think it is. It's a lot. I know. I get it. I get it. But I feel like, a kid. God forgive me, because I got a kid.
It's a little ghetto. No, it's not
even that. A child is a blessing. We're gonna say that a child is a blessing because my son has been a blessing to my life. But I know that I'm not a
motherly.
No. I wouldn't say that. I would just say that I'm in a point in my life where I know that I don't want any more kids. I feel like I have a lot of things to do in this world. Then
nurturing.
No, it's not that. I just feel like I have a lot of goals, right? And I'm not saying that a child is gonna put me back, because my child has not put me back. If anything, my child has bettered me in many ways.
But it's difficult.
But it's very difficult. I feel like goals. Yes, when you're thinking about having that's what it is. When you're thinking about having children, I feel like nowadays with how the world is and the education and stuff like that, it's a lot to consider, right?
And you're just not considering you as your own now. You're considering you and another person.
Right.
That's another thing.
And a lot of people don't understand that. It's like, especially if you're a single mom, it's even harder.
Yep.
Having to work and then come home, cook, still have time to do homework. It's a lot of work.
Shower your kid, put him to bed early, take him to school. It's a lot.
It's definitely a lot.
No, definitely.
And your presence in their lives matters a lot. So I'm very cautious when I think about having kids, because it's way too much. I think if I have kids again, which I doubt, I will have to be in a relationship with someone that I know is not.
That goes into like how people are having kids now at my age. Not to put my age out there, 19. I don't.
How old are you?
19. I'm 19.
19.
I don't personally, I don't personally want to have kids yet. Not now. Not in the further future. I don't. But it's just I've seen a lot of women get pregnant from my age, younger, probably. Let's say 16 is the most I've seen, and I just don't like I don't know how they could process or even go through that. Because I don't picture myself right now having kids. Like that's just that's just something I do not picture.
I wouldn't advise it. You're 19. You're young.
I know.
I would say, experience life. See what you like, what you don't like.
It's just like, how do you go? Like, how do you process that at this age, or how do you go about that. You get what I mean? Like, how do you prepare yourself mentally to have that kid? Because if I know right now, if I do, I'm gonna have a mental breakdown. Let's be honest. I'm gonna have a mental breakdown, and that's a lot. That is a lot. And as you say, you're not just thinking about just you. You're thinking about multiple people. So that's something you need to take into account.
But I would say, look into the different kind of birth controls. There are many. There's IUDs with hormones, no hormones.
But like, do they all produce the same reaction?
No, that's what I'm saying. You have to do your homework on the kind of birth control methods that there are, and see what works for you. Right? What works for me might not work for you, and what's working for me right now are prayers. Our prayers and pull-out methods.
Oh my god.
And that good old condom.
Oh my god.
With the right size.
Don't play. Don't play.
But
the correct size.
The correct size. Right.
Please.
But that's what works for me. And what's working for me right now might not be working for you.
Yeah. I mean, there's also plan Bs.
Plan Bs are plan Bs.
Yeah.
Are for emergency.
Plan B, the backup plan.
Yeah, but I feel like sometimes people do think that that's a birth control, and it's not a birth control. Read up on the side effects too, because I believe that does have a lot of side effects, and it's not healthy to use.
No, yeah, a lot of people be using it constantly. Yeah. I've seen that. A lot of people just pop that pill like it's a pop it like that. Yeah, you're so stupid. After constantly, I'm like, yo,
you're so stupid.
Consider your body, babes. That's all I'm saying.
Hello.
Health before all of that. You get what I mean? But so now that we're talking about birth control and sex, let's touch on body count. Yep. I personally think that body count is an important thing to communicate, whether it's your partner, whether you're somebody that you're talking to. To me, it's just important because I feel like even though it's in the past, I want to know how many people you've been with. Even if it's the whole world, more than 15, I think it's an important factor. Not like you gotta like, oh my god, but like I want to know,
But my question is, why would that matter? If you're dating someone because you're talking to a person because you want to potentially date them, right? What would that matter? Why would that person's past matter? You could the whole world for all I give a as long as you don't have, anything crazy that you just quiet about and don't even tell me about it, then I'm good. I don't care about your past, your mistakes, or any of that. And I feel like, I guess, we're going to agree to disagree because I feel like just like that's how you feel about it. There's a lot of people out there that might feel the same way. But again, it's just my opinion. Why does that matter? I feel like that shouldn't matter.
I mean, I don't think people should be hyper fixated or like that's such an important factor. But I do agree with what you're saying. It's not important. But at a certain extent, I want to get to know my partner. And I want to get, whether I don't know all of them, because you don't know a person fully. You get what I mean? No matter how long you've been with them. But I want to at least know that. Like, I want to know everything, but to a certain extent. And that's just important to me to know, because if I'm going to tell you how many people I've been with, you get what I mean? And I feel like, I don't know. It's to get to know a person. You kind of that's kind of one of the main questions usually. Well, for me.
But my thing is, what would be the reason you will ask someone how many people you've been with? Is it because that person has experience in sex and you don't have any experience?
Yeah.
Because I feel like if that's the case, then you learn as you go. Like if you don't have any experience and that person knows that, then I feel like that's the person's job to kind of teach you, lead you in when you guys are in bed, right?
But some people don't like teaching. Like some people just, I want you to already know. You know what I mean? There's a lot of guys like that be like, yo, I want somebody that.
Then I wouldn't want to be with a person like that.
You get that's what I'm saying.
And I get it. Yeah, you're right. But I wouldn't want to be with a person like that. I want to be with a person that makes me feel comfortable, right? Like I'm not gonna lie, we all have insecurities.
Yeah, of course.
I have several insecurities.
Yeah, and so do I.
I gave birth, so my belly doesn't look the same. I have stretch marks. My boobs don't feel the same.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's important when you're in bed to have that person that makes you feel comfortable. Because again, if you're not comfortable, you're not confident. And if you're not confident, you're not enjoying the experience. And if you're not enjoying the experience, he's not enjoying the experience. So now we're just wasting each other's time and a nut. A nut is very important. Yeah. To me, it is.
Yeah. Right? No, it is important. Yep.
So that's just what I think. I think that communication is key. Again, I feel like we're always going to keep talking about this and emphasizing this because it's important.
Yeah.
Communication. Yep. Again, if you don't know how to talk to a person, then that's fine. But there are ways to kind of talk, to make it fun, interactive.
Yeah.
Play a game with a person. Create card games, or do fun activities that will get you guys in a more open level and willing to kind of talk about certain things that make you guys feel uncomfortable. Because I feel like at the end of the day, if you are with a person, if you are in a relationship, then that person should be your safe haven.
No,
that should be your safe space. So that's what I think. So again, for today, I want you guys all to take away from this episode: safe sex is the best sex.
Clock that.
And what do we say? If you liked what you saw,
like, comment, and subscribe, y'all. And follow us on Instagram, unfiltered.reflections_.
And if you want, send us a message.
Of course. Everything will be anonymous when we put this in this video. So, privacy reasons. We get it. So, yeah. That's all for today's episode.
Bye.